everybody, this is Julissa. Thank you so much for coming back to my channel. It is Tuesday, September 7, 2021. I wanted to come here on my channel and tell you some news that I learned, which is really exciting for the city of Danbury, which you guys know that's where I grew up, and this is where my studio is located. But first I want to say, if you hear any noises, there's a big remodel going on outside of my studio here in Danbury, right on the Danbury Green. And I came early. It's really early in the morning today, but I came early because I knew that they were going to be working right on the entrance of the building. But when I came, they come also early, so the noise, if you hear any noise, if you see anything moving behind me through the window, because they have big machines and everything working out there, that's what that is. But I wanted to come here and let you guys know something. So I heard about this exhibit when I was researching. I go to New York City a lot, so I was researching about it. I'm like, that would be a great thing to experience, the live experience of the Van Gogh paintings. And I was like, that is so great. And I was like, where can I get tickets and things like that? It has great reviews. But the good thing that I learned is that this exhibit is going to be presented here in the city of Danbury, which is the great thing for the city. I think it's amazing to bring something like that. So apparently they have been announcing this since May. It is now September, like I just said. So they have a whole website and everything. So it's called the vangoghdanbury. You see, that's the front page. And let me just tell you a little bit about it. Immerse yourself in Van Gogh's artwork like you've never seen it before. Beyond Van Gogh, the immersive experience will be in Danbury for a limited engagement. Register now for exclusive pre-sale and on-sale information. So everybody's trying to figure this out because they announced it back in May. They haven't really made it like, they haven't set a location and time. Is this gonna come like in the fall time, or is it gonna happen like around Christmas time? It hasn't been announced. For them to announce it in May, you would think they were planning it for like the summer, right? It hasn't been said anything, and people are just asking. They also have an Instagram page, so if you go to the main website, vangoghdanbury.com, you're gonna get the links to their social media and things like that. You can send information, a lot of answers about it, the frequently asked questions. All the information is there. They're saying, let me just read to you some of this. Beyond Bagan is following the approved guidelines below. Time ticket sales to reduce, to keep social distance, obviously. The arrows on the floor to keep people going one way and the other, not bumping into each other. And multiple hand sanitizers. Masks are required inside. Where you buy tickets, they're saying tickets can be purchased right on the website vangoghdanbury.com. If the show wheelchair accessible, yes, that's great news. Wheelchair accessible walkers and scooters are all permitted. Can I bring my service animal? Somebody asked. Yes, you can bring your service animal and guide dogs. No other pets are permitted, they're saying. Can I bring a stroller? Yes, strollers and babies are allowed. That's great. And also somebody asked, can I bring a camera? Yes, you can take photos, but you're not allowed to record. So this is going to be a great experience here. I am so happy that they picked Danbury for this. I think it's going to be great. I think it's just great. I mean, I was going to go to New York City for this, and now it's coming right here to our town. This is why I wanted to make a video about it. And, in speaking about this exhibit, I needed to also learn something about, not just learn, but like find out more information. I'm sorry if the camera is shaking, about Van Gogh and his life and his work. So let me just tell you something, because I found interesting. I'm going to tell you 7 facts about him that I learned. So let me just tell you something, because as a creator myself, people think that everything is just, things are just gonna click for you and just gonna happen. Like, it takes a long time, and sometimes you die. Like, he died when he was only 37. Sometimes you die, you don't even get to see your work reach that level of, that you perhaps had in mind when you first started. So let me just read to you something about him. Um, excuse me. So it says here in less than 10 years he painted almost 900 paintings. From November 1881 to July 1880, Van Gogh produced close to 900 paintings. At the age of 27, he abandoned his unsuccessful career choices as an art dealer. He was an art dealer, then he tried to be a missionary, and he concentrated himself into painting. When he began painting, he used peasants and farmers as models, and then flowers, landscapes, and himself because he was too poor to pay for subjects. And that's something that people don't understand. Like, I mean, it's the year 2021, excuse me, and we are seeing his work, and they're creating this exhibit. He was not alive. Like, maybe he never even thought about it, because um, another thing that I learned about him, that throughout his career, he only sold one of his paintings. I mean, he says here in 10 years he painted almost 900. He was only able to sell only one of them 7 months before he passed. And, you know, it's just crazy to me, because here's the thing. Being a creator myself, like I said to you guys before, people don't validate your work unless you're making money. This is what society is right now. And the thing with that is, like, you start to do something, and within 6 months, if you're not making money, society tells you to just drop it. And you're being forced to perhaps start something new, and without giving them enough time for something to grow, because things take time to grow. It's not, it's not going to happen overnight. So in 10 years, he painted 900 paintings and only was able to sell one of those 7 months before he died. And that to me was just crazy. And another fact about him, his most famous work was done in an asylum. It's called the Starry Night, which is featured in the exhibit. Arguably, his most famous work was painting in an asylum in France. He voluntarily admitted himself there to recover from his 1888 nervous breakdown, which resulted in the ear-cutting incident. So we all know what happened to his ear. I don't want to go into details about that, but he was just, I think, to me, like, his work, who would have thought? Like, I'm sure he never thought about his work, especially when he didn't see perhaps you can say, the monetary thing from it. And I'm sure people around him will say, this is not making you money. Like, this is not going anywhere, because, like I said before, people don't validate your work unless you're bringing in the cash, unless you're fully able to support yourself through your work. People will look at it like it's a hobby, regardless if you work 80 hours on it. I can totally relate to that. They always call it, oh, your little thing that you do. And this guy, look at him now. He probably never thought, but you do good work no matter if they pay you for it or not. And this is how you know your purpose, right? I was not going to talk about this, but here's the thing. When it comes to purpose, you are willing to do it for free, because the thing about that is that it's not really about the money, right? So I thought that was interesting about him. At the age of 27, he abandoned his career. I already told you that. And he began he had a lot of odd jobs and trying to support himself. And then he's like, I'm just gonna completely dedicate myself to the painting. He died at 37 on July 27, 1890. He actually shot himself in the chest. There were no witnesses, and the gun was never found, which is weird, right? He committed not that either in the wheat field he had been painting, or in a barn. So they're not even sure when that happened. And this happened many years ago. He was able to stagger to the albergue where he was staying. Two doctors tended to him. But listen to this, guys. Two doctors came to help him. But there was no surgeon available, and he died on July 29, 1890, from an infection in the wound. His brother Theo later wrote on this to their sister Elizabeth. Um, in the last letter, which he wrote to me, this is what he wrote a letter to his brother. He said, and the brother saying, it's in the last letter which he wrote to me, which dates from some 4 days before his death. He says, I'll try to do as well as certain painters whom I have greatly loved and admired. People should realize that he was a great artist, something which often coincides with being a great human. That's what he says here. And many will regret his early death. That's what Theo said. He was a very supporting brother, obviously. So his brother also died, it says here, 6 months later. Wow. And then, there's a painting of him with the bandage on his ear when he cut his own ear. Another famous painting. Let me see if I can show you that, guys. That's him there. You guys, this is always, of course, this is all available on the internet. But I think it's just a great news for the city of Danbury to have this exhibit here. I think it's going to bring a lot of people here for that, and it's going to be great for Connecticut, Fairfield County, and I'm very happy to see. I just wish they could give us more details, because we know about this since May, and not a lot of details are being said. And when things like that are not fully like developed, or like things when they're announced early, and this is what I learned so far from experience. When you announce something so early, it tends to just dissolve on its own, like it will never happen. Sometimes, don't create. I mean, I know that perhaps are trying to create an excitement for people, but it's been since May that we know about this, and no new updates has been said. There's not a time frame. We don't know if this is going to happen around Christmas time, or like the fall season, which is about to start next week. Like, what is going on? Or if it's gonna be kept for next year. So I hope that the plan doesn't fall out. But I just want to say, guys, I'm gonna leave the link for the website. You can register there, so if you wanna get the updates, so you'll be one of the first to know when you can get the tickets, and the times and the location and things like that when they announce it. Thank you again for coming back to my channel. Have a great day. Thank you so much for watching my channel. Please don't forget to subscribe and hit the notification bell. I hope to see you in the next video.